Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And after yesterday's first look at Kendall, today we finally go much deeper. Because Guardians, this hero has a lot to talk about. A lot. And honestly, the more we analyze her, the more we understand that Kendall is not just another mage entering the Dominion. She brings completely new mechanics, completely different interactions, and one mechanic in particular that honestly sounds absurd when you first hear it. Critical pure damage. Yes, Guardians. Pure damage that can critically hit. And that changes everything. Because normally when we talk about pure damage, we talk about unavoidable pressure. Damage that ignores armor. Damage that ignores magic defense. Damage that simply goes through. But now, imagine adding critical hits on top of that. Suddenly you are no longer talking about normal pressure. You are talking about explosive unavoidable damage spikes, and that is why Kendall immediately becomes one of the most interesting heroes we have seen in a long time. Now of course, we still need testing. We still need real fights, real teams, real interactions. And we will absolutely explore all of that in the next days because this hero deserves proper analysis. But today we focus on the guide. How to build Kendall correctly and how to understand what she truly brings to your team. And honestly, my vision here may be slightly different from some players, because my thinking is always focused on one thing. What the hero actually does, and how we maximize that impact immediately. So let's begin from the basics. Skills. And here, Guardians. No questions asked. Max all of them. Every single one. Because Kendall is not a hero where one skill carries the entire kit while the others are secondary. No. Her entire design is interconnected. Every mechanic feeds another mechanic. Every sacrifice amplifies another effect. Every interaction matters. So if her skills are not maxed, you will never truly unlock her potential. Lava Kiss creates continuous pure damage pressure while sacrificing her own health. Sweet Torture amplifies magical critical hit chance through sacrifice interactions. Friendly Fire transforms allies into additional pure damage sources. And Purge by Pain connects everything together by allowing her pure damage to critically hit. Everything works together. And that means everything needs investment. Now we move into Sparks of Power. And honestly, same answer. Max them. No discussion needed. Kendall scales extremely hard with stats, and the stronger her base becomes, the stronger every mechanic inside her kit becomes too. Then we move into skins. And for now, we only have one. Her default intelligence skin. And yes, Guardians. Max it immediately. Because intelligence is her main stat. That means more damage, more stability, more scaling, more survivability. Literally everything inside her kit improves through it. And honestly, survivability matters massively for Kendall because she constantly sacrifices her own health during fights. So keeping her stable while amplifying her damage at the same time is extremely important. Now we move into glyphs. And here, maybe my opinion differs from some people. But I'm thinking about immediate return. Immediate impact. Immediate pressure. So first, magic attack. Every skill scales with it. Every source of damage improves through it. More magic attack means more pressure everywhere across her kit, and honestly this one is mandatory as your first priority. Then we move immediately into magical critical hit chance. Yes, Guardians. Immediately. Because this is what separates Kendall from almost every other mage in the game. The possibility of critical pure damage completely changes how dangerous she can become. And honestly, we are not saying she is broken already. But maybe in 1 month we will be saying exactly that. Because this mechanic is absurd. Pure damage that critically hits is not something small. It is devastating. And the more critical hit chance she gets, the more often this mechanic starts appearing. After that, intelligence glyph. Again. Stability, survivability, damage, scaling. Everything improves together. Then we move into health. Because Kendall needs to survive long enough to keep sacrificing health and maintaining pressure. If she falls too early, the entire engine stops working. And finally, magic defense. Now we move into artifacts. And immediately, we begin with her book. Torture Secrets. And what does it bring? Magical critical hit chance and health. Exactly what Kendall wants. More survivability and more chances to trigger those devastating critical pure damage interactions. This artifact honestly feels perfectly designed for her kit because it reinforces both her aggression and her ability to stay alive while sacrificing herself continuously. Then we move into something very important. Her weapon artifact. Lord Beholder. And yes, Guardians. This is where you need to be smart. Because Kendall is impressive. But she also needs investment into the correct mechanics to truly show what she is worth. And honestly, I love mechanics that feel different. Mechanics outside the box. Mechanics that create entirely new interactions. And Lord Beholder does exactly that. It grants magical critical hit chance to the entire team. To the entire team. And immediately, that becomes massive for Kendall because the more magical critical hit chance she gets, the higher the possibility for her pure damage to critically hit. This is not just a normal offensive artifact. This is a trigger. An enabler. An amplifier for her entire identity. And honestly, this artifact might end up being one of the reasons why chaos compositions become so explosive around her. Finally, we finish with the Ring of Intelligence. Yes, Guardians. I'm leaving it for last. And I know some people might disagree because we lose some survivability by delaying it. But honestly, my current thinking is simple. Kendall can create so much pressure. And can amplify allied damage so heavily. That I want fights ending as fast as possible. Because remember, in the future she will receive more skins. More defensive options. Maybe health. Maybe armor. Maybe even different survivability paths. But right now, I want impact. I want aggression. I want pressure. And speaking about that, level 120 opens the door to her talisman. The Talisman of Torture. Main stat intelligence. Additional armor. And honestly, this is very good for her current state because again, she constantly sacrifices health. So armor helps stabilize her while keeping the offensive direction intact. But personally, I also expect future talismans with different directions once she gains more skins and more progression options. And Guardians. Here is your first real guide to Kendall. The new Chaos Beast. And honestly, I think she is absolutely amazing. Very unique. Very dangerous. Very promising. And before we finish, one small tip that I honestly think is very important. We all know relics completely change heroes. Sometimes relics transform an average hero into something entirely different. New mechanics. New power spikes. New interactions. And Kendall already has relics available through the new season adventure. So if you are a free-to-play player sitting on a lot of generic shards waiting for the right hero, maybe this is your moment. Because these relics look important. Not only for Kendall herself, but also for the heroes you pair beside her. And yes, Guardians. We are absolutely going to explore all of that. Because this hero deserves deep analysis. Best teams. Best combinations. Counters. Testing. Everything. But for now, this is your foundation. This is Kendall. A chaos mage built around sacrifice, amplification, and devastating critical pure damage. And honestly, I cannot wait to continue exploring her. Stay tuned, stay sharp. And as always, salute and friendship.